Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Lyney. Lyney never expected to be in a situation like this. But then again, he didn't see himself dating someone in the near future either. So, maybe this was just one of the things that he could not predict accurately. Because a lot of this was new to him. And a lot of this was very good. But some parts of being in a relationship, it meant that you had to pay attention to some of the things that happen around you. Like the fact that a guy was trying to catcall you right in front of him, like he did not exist. It doesn't even matter if he wasn't there. He knows about this. He has heard about it from his little sister. And it was very disheartening. Sometimes he even had to stop them. But this was just not a thing he expected to deal with, at least when you were around. And most of the time, his little sister would deal with them. She was intimidating in her own way, and most people knew not to mess with her. You were new to Fontaine, though, and he knew that. That's why he felt a little bit protective over you. And when he saw that man catcalling you, he couldn't help it. It was instinct, really. The way he got up from your side and then went over to him, slapping him. You're frozen, trying to grasp the situation, as Lyney yelled. Do you ever think about your own actions and how they impact others? You're shameful, disgusting, he said. I don't want to see your face again, and I swear if I see you doing anything like that, with my girlfriend or anyone else, I will teach you a lesson that you won't forget, Lyney said, watching as the man left. Then he went back over to your side, kissing your cheek sweetly. Are you alright, darling? I am. You didn't need to do all of that. You could have avoided hitting him. He deserved it. Don't you worry. Now, what did you want to do? He asks, like it doesn't matter at all. And for the most part, he doesn't regret doing that. And he would gladly do it again, just for you. Xiao? Xiao had no idea why someone would do this in public, and why they would do this when you very obviously had a boyfriend. He was walking right next to you. Moreover, he was holding your hand. But then, from the slurred tone of that man who was catcalling you, he noticed he was also very drunk, and that may be an explanation. However, as much as it was an explanation, it was not an excuse. He was not having it. So that's why, as soon as he heard him, he just frowned and tried to keep on walking. He didn't want to escalate things. He would not like that. But then, he kept on trying to flirt with you. And Xiao was not a very forgiving person. He didn't believe in the idea of forgiving everyone for anything. So, even though you were tugging on his arm, telling him that he could just go on with his day, and that it would pass, he didn't want to let it. So he left you. Please wait, Wayan. I'll be right back, he said. And before he knew it, he had moved over to him, and then he was over, right next to him. What were you saying right now? And before he could even answer, Xiao had hit him, hard enough to knock him into the ground. I don't want to hear you speaking again with that filthy mouth of yours. You better stay quiet now. That's all he really said, looking at him like he was so disgusting, the scum of the earth, before taking your hand in his and going away. You were a little bit stunned, but you knew there was no negotiating with Xiao. What he wanted, he would get. Not to mention, the person in question was quite deserving of what he did, so it was justified. As much as you dislike violence, sometimes it was the only viable method to get what you needed. And right now, both you and Xiao thought it was a suitable response. Venti, usually Venti would not encounter such things. He didn't know if it was because he was lucky or just people in Mondstadt were being really nice and polite, well-mannered, behaved, just like he wanted them to be. He did feel grateful for the Favonius guards because they kept things in order. But this time, he may as well take matters into his own hands. Maybe he just did not expect things to escalate to this degree. When he was walking down the road with you, he just wanted some fresh air. And you wanted to go shopping. And your goals aligned for one day, so you were going out together on a date. But to be fair, he would have gone out with you anyway. But still, this was quite unusual. Seeing that guy catcall you in broad daylight, with no shame at all, it was worrying and awful. At first, Venti kept quiet, trying to bear it with a smile. But when he saw that you were getting bothered by it, he frowned and wrapped an arm around you. "Is it bothering you, Ayan?" he asked. And you nodded, and then he kissed your cheek, smiling widely. "All right, I'll just go and make sure everything's signed with him." "Wait, Venti didn't say anything about that." You tell him, but he doesn't stop. Instead, he actually takes him and flies away. It's quite weird, seeing what happens, or not seeing it because he flies away from your own line of sight, and he comes back just 5 minutes later, telling you that the guy has learned his lesson and he will never do anything like that to anyone again. Isn't it wonderful, Mayan? Being an Archon sure has its perks. I'm quite sure of that. Would the Favonius Knights even be okay with this? I don't know, but it's not like they're gonna know. You're worried now, but you just ignore it. Surely he hasn't caused too much trouble, and even if he has, it's not like anything bad can happen in the end. So you can continue on with your day, now unbothered by someone who's trying to catcall you.